Hello, and welcome back to Temptations Ballad. We're still at the fighting arena. It's still a good time. Sid let out an overjoyed howl of excitement before dashing back into the ring. Artemi couldn't help but watch him go with a smile. He certainly is an enthusiastic fellow. It is a nice change of pace. Everyone back in the church district acts very reserved. The judge blows shrilly on his whistle again. As the crowd made their way back to their seats, a single cloaked individual peered curiously at Artemi. Their gaze trained on her quietly as she retreated. The vessel is here. This complicates matters. The roar of howls of the crowd were muffled as they rumbled through the back hallways of the building. Cole tiptoed quietly through several rooms, poking his head through the many shelves of Clyde stocks. There were plenty of trinkets, assorted arcane crystals, stolen keys, and other things street urchins often pilfer from unknown city folk. A few rare treasures were stored in the back, likely brought from adventurers after they returned from their journeys. There were no signs of this obsidian crown that Artemi described, though. Cole tapped his chin curiously as he closed a door behind him. The crowd sounded pretty valuable. The crown, not crowd. What? Crown sounded pretty valuable. Maybe Clyde was keeping it on his person. Hey, who's back here? This place is off limits for guests. Cole grinned as the sound of the familiar voice, and stuck his head out to meet a surprised Clyde. Yo! Clyde's suspicions immediately melted into a mischievous chuckle. Well, if it ain't my little coleslaw. What are you doing back here? Were you planning on hanging out with me in my office? Maybe later. I did say today was a business day. Cole jabbed a finger at a handful of arcane crystals by a crate. A shitty street urchin boy stole these off of me earlier today. You mind if I buy them back? What? Those cheap things? Hell, I'll give them back for free. Or maybe in exchange for a good time with my favorite buddy. Clyde's paw caressed down Cole's back and ended with a firm squeeze of his ass. Cole chuckled. Sounds like a good deal to me. I'm surprised you're feeling so generous today. You're usually such a hard ass with your deals. Clyde hummed cheerfully as he pulled Cole close, his hips flush with the little hyena's butt as he rested his chin on top of his head. Cole flushed slightly as he felt grabby hands shake down his front and fiddle with his loincloth. No, focus. It's a business day first. Those are pretty low-quality arcane crystals, man. Any spell that's stored inside them ain't gonna last more than a day. Cole blinked and glanced up at the snuggling tiger curiously. Huh? What do you mean? Oh, right. I forgot your old man is basically a caveman when it comes to magic. Basically, these arcane crystals store spells inside of them to function. For example, the ones that are used to drive caravan and wagons are charged with an animate object spell. Other crystals that are used for stuff like cooling buildings on hot days are charged with a ray of frost. Technology is amazing nowadays. Wait, you're telling me that people can cool their houses down in the summer with magic? Did I suffer through all those dank and sweaty days in our living quarters for nothing? Clyde chuckled and shrugged. Like I said, your father's quite the caveman when it comes to magic. I could never figure out why he's so against it. Cole groaned and buried his face in his hands. That's the story of my life right there. He sighed with defeat. Alrighty, that's enough small talk. It was time to focus on his task. Cole's eyes narrowed as he carefully planned his next words. Speaking of Papa, I'm here to do a little gift shopping for him. The Bone Breakers have been earning quite a penny from all the new adventuring jobs lately, and I was thinking of getting him something nice. Oh, well, I'm always happy for some business. What can I get you, Coleslaw? Papa is pretty fond of over-the-top and gaudy things, despite how he acts. Maybe some jewelry, or something fancy like a cape or a crown. Well, fancy that. I got my hands on a rather spectacular crown today. Unfortunately, it's already been booked for by several high-class buyers. Their offers are at a price not even the son of Morrow Bonebreaker can afford. Damn, already? Didn't you say you just got this crown today? Who exactly are these speed shoppers? I'm afraid I can't tell you, Coleslaw. Customer confidentiality and all that good jazz. These buyers sent middlemen to handle their purchases, so it's not like I know who they are anyway. Damn. I guess I gotta give up on this crown and settle on buying Papa a cape or something. I'm sure we've got plenty in our inventory to satisfy Morrow. Speaking of satisfying, do you want to come to my office to discuss your payment for those arcane crystals? Cole let out a small yelp as Clyde suddenly thrusted forward, pressing his bulge tightly against the hyena's rump. Heh. It took you long enough. Lead the way, Clyde. The tiger laughed and scooped up the hyena in his arms before prancing cheerfully down the hall. This is why you're my favorite visitor. Well, they're having fun. Clyde was purring like a giddy child, ready to open a present as he carried Cole bridal style in his office. The room was thankfully empty of other people, occupied only by the dim, flickering candles on the walls. Cole laughed and nuzzled into Clyde warmly, his warm, fuzzy neck. Geez, someone sure is excited. I just miss spending some quality time with my little Coleslaw. The tiger gently tossed him onto the couch and pinned him down on the soft cushions with a grin. Cole could feel his soft, warm breath tickle his face as he peered up at the hungry tiger. It was a familiar sensation. The two of them have been together before countless times. Still, Cole couldn't help but shiver in delight at the sensation of Clyde's clawed hands lightly caressing his chest as he leaned forward. Ah, fuck. Do I want to... Damu. Do I want to censor today? No, I don't. I'm sorry, guys. I don't feel like censoring a video. So we're gonna skip it. I'll watch this later myself, but you know. Not for YouTube. Not safe for TJ, right? Clyde pulled Cole onto his lap as the two of them settled on the couch. There was a hungry glint in his eyes. We're gonna have a good bit of fun, aren't we? Meanwhile, in the fighting ring, the judge blew his whistle with another shrill screech. Round set. The winner is Sid Shriekwood, his win streak unbroken. The greenhorn is barreling through the competition with ease. A large portion of the crowd cheered and hollered for Sid this time around, as he limped his way out of the ring with his adrenaline-filled grin. It was a bit of a struggle, but he managed to win 3 matches in a row. Through all the bruises and aches, an addiction rush of triumph filled Sid's chest. We will be holding a short intermission for our contenders to rest and recuperate. While you wait, feel free to check out Clyde's catalog of wares and products lined up in the back of the room. The crowd slowly dispersed to chatter among themselves about the newcomer's performance. Artemi hurried across the room to Sid's side as he stumbled towards their table. That was a stunning display of power, Sir Sid. You are truly blessed. This incredible natural-born strength. And you've been handling the bets and the crowds really well. I can't believe people are cheering for me now. We make a pretty good team, huh? Up top. Sid raised his hand expectantly for a high five. Artemi stared at him blankly. I beg your pardon? Uh-huh. Have you never gotten a high five before? Here, hold out your hand. All right. You've struck me. It was wee and gentle, but you've struck me nonetheless. Is this a challenge? What? No, of course not. If so, I am honor-bound as a knight of the church to accept it. On guard, Sir Sid. Artemi reached to unsheath her sword. Sid hastily grabbed her arm. No. It was a high five. It's a thing friends do when they do cool stuff together. Ah, a show of camaraderie, of jolly cooperation, I see. Artemi blinked and cleared her throat, self-consciously. Does this mean that you consider us to be friends? Of course. I mean, if you want to be. We've only met for a little while, but it's been a fun and eventful day with you. A shy smile grew across Temi's face as she looked up at her companion. Of course. I will treasure our friendship for years to come, Sir Sid. Thank you. A similar smile grew on Sid as he grinned to himself with glee. Huh, see, Mom? I have friends who aren't toads, too. Did you say something? No, it's nothing. Suddenly, Sid suddenly winced and clutched his side in pain. Dark, ugly bruises littered across his torso and arms. One fighter even managed to land a solid uppercut into Sid's face earlier. Ugh, that last guy really didn't pull his punches. You mustn't push yourself too hard, Sir Sid. Here, I believe I can help with that. Artemi pressed her hand against Sid's arm. Cure wounds. A gentle rush of warmth slowly flooded Sid's body as the unmistakable golden glow of celestial magic illuminated her hands. Sid watched in amazement as he felt his bruises gradually faded, along with his exhaustion. He hopped onto his feet and experimentally feigned a few punches in the air. Whoa, this is amazing! All my soreness is gone. I practically feel like new. I didn't know you could cast magic too, Miss Knight. Artemi chuckled and bowed her head bashfully. You flatter me. My education with the church includes swordsmanship training and holy paladins as well as healing magic by clerics. It is natural that I should aid in easing your and my comrade's wounds. A big, giddy grin spreads across Sid's face as he plopped back into a seat. I still can't believe I'm working with the Creator's Chosen on my first day as an adventurer. This is so cool. It's an honor to work with the future savior of the world. Oh, the honor is all mine. I never imagined I'd have the chance to work with such kind people on my first mission. Duh, now you're just being modest. You're the chosen one, for crying out loud. Every day must be full of exciting stuff to do and people to meet. A little commoner like me is probably small stuff compared to what you go through. Artemi's smile faltered as she stared at the floor quietly. You are mistaken. I'm afraid I've spent most of my life within the Grand Cathedral and do not have much experience with the world outside the church district. Today has been the most eventful day of my life, for better or worse. She peered at Sid curiously. Pardon my intrusion, Sir Sid, but I have been wondering. I am here due to my duties as a knight of the church, but what about you? You mentioned that you wanted to be an adventurer. What drives an ordinary man to pursue such a dangerous profession? Sid stared down at the wooden table with a hint of embarrassment. It's kind of silly, if I'm being honest. I suppose it's fine if I share this with the Creator's Chosen. You gotta promise not to laugh, though. Artemia suddenly stood up and bowed, drawing curious stares from nearby onlookers. Worry not, Sir Sid. For you have my word and my silence. Hey, sit back down. It's not that big a deal. As you wish. Sid fiddled with the hem of his shirt quietly. Okay. You see, the reason I want to be an adventurer so badly. It's true that I've always admired the glory and fame of adventurers, but the real reason... He looked up with a bittersweet smile on his face. It's all for my mom. Artemi smiled, frowned, confused. I understand. Mothers can have high and demanding expectations. But at the end of the day, they simply want what's best for us. Sid snorted out a laugh. No, my mom never really asked anything from me. She spoiled me too much. I could be the world's worst layabout, and she'd probably still baby me all day. Huh? You see, the reason I want to be an adventurer is because I want to grow rich and successful so that I can give my parents an easy life when they grow old. Sid scratched his head, his ears drooping with a hint of insecurity. I'm going to be real honest. I'm not exactly the smartest guy. Kinda stupid, really. I told my parents I got disinterested in my previous apprenticeships, jobs as the reason why I kept getting let go, but the truth is that I kept messing up on the slightest tasks and pissing off my bosses and got genuinely fired. Especially that last job with the scribe. He sighed heavily. I've kind of come to terms with the fact that I'll never manage to get a good job that pays well. I'm not that smart, but I'm a big guy who can hold my own in a fight. Adventuring sounds like the only job I had a chance of being successful in. A shy, fond smile spreads across Sid's face. I owe my mom a lot. She never complained about me, and never once got mad. Never. I know I wasn't an easy kid to raise, and she did that, all while supporting my dad's wild dream of being the world's best cheesemaker. I've come home every night to tell her I failed another apprenticeship, and she's always telling me that it's alright. I'm doing my best.
all the while pretending she's not exhausted from work and hiding her back pain from me.
Sid's hands squeezed into a fist as he looked up with determination.
I really need to make something of myself. For her.
Artemi felt her heart wither uncomfortably at Sid's confession. Your mother is lucky to have a son, have you as a son. Sid laughed.
I'm not sure about that, but thank you. I mean, it means a lot to hear that from the creator's chosen herself.
Artemi fell into a deep silence as she pondered Sid's words. A deep, ugly feeling snaked through her chest as she recounted how warm and fond Sid sounded as he spoke about his mother. She shook her head sharply and tried to ignore it. Artemi was the creator's chosen. It was natural that Her Excellency expected more from her. This was the duty that she was born with. Even still, Artemi could not quite block out the painful envy that was gnawing through her heart. Okay, I'll end it here, so I'll see you around, everyone.